Hey everybody, it's Sarah with Paint and Party. I wanted to show you guys a couple of really simple Christmas cards that you can hand draw and send out. I think that we should bring back Christmas cards. I so miss getting things in the mail, which you may already do Christmas cards, but it's been a while since I've done them, and it's been a while since my family has done them. So I was thinking, let's do some just little doodles on some Christmas cards. So I've got just a couple of pieces of paper here, and I'm using paper from this notebook that I use all the time. It's I get it at Walmart, and it's just like $3. Let me show you the front of it. I think it's actually $2.99. It's called Sketch Diary, and it has just kind of thick paper. And so that's where I do a lot of my doodles and my drawings and those sort of things. So it has perforated paper. So I just ripped out a couple of pieces and folded it in half. And I'm using markers, so I'm using some Sharpies. So I've got some paper down because it's probably going to go through the paper. The markers usually do, so that's why I put it up this way. I'm gonna draw on this side. So just a couple of little simple things that I did. I did this one here. It just has some Christmas lights. And then this one here that just has some Christmas trees on it. So I have some Sharpies. I also have these markers that I got at the Dollar General. If you watch my videos very often, you know I get everything at the Dollar General because that's the only thing that we have in my little town. So, but I do like these pens. There was probably 8 of them in a package for like $2.99, which is kind of fun. So, all right, so I've got a black Sharpie for this one. And I think you could use any colors you wanted. Like you could do teal and pink Christmas lights, whatever you wanted. I've got a green, and you notice I'm using different markers. Like that's the fun of it. It's the easy. You know, you can use whatever you have. I've got blue and yellow. And I've also got a pencil, okay? So I'm going to just start with my black Sharpie, and I'll put this, let's see, I'll put it here so you guys can see it. And what I did is I've got a Sharpie that has kind of a fine tip. You don't want one that's really thick. And I'm just gonna draw a line that goes there. And these can be wherever, you know. I put Happy Holidays at the bottom, so you want to leave enough room for that. But you don't have to do your lines just like mine. So I've got my black lines on there. And if you feel like, you know, you're struggling with it, use your pencil and then go over it. Just make sure you have a good eraser on your pencil if you're going to erase. Okay. So these little lights are kind of like little teardrops. So I've just got a skinny marker here, which you could use a bigger one. And I'm just filling that little guy in. Okay. Oh no, I messed up. All right, so I've got green. And then I'm gonna go across, and I've got red. And I'm just like barely kind of touching this and just not using a very hard touch so that it's you know, doesn't get really big. Always go smaller than you think. It's much easier to make something larger than it is to make it smaller. You can't really make these smaller with the markers. Okay, so I've got my 4 colors. So I'm gonna start again with the green. And there's no rhyme or reason to how I did these. I just picked this sequence here. And you could do round slides. You could do so much with this. I think it's really fun. And as always, take your time. If you need to pause me because I'm going too fast, it's okay. A little more green here. And we'll do one more red. I may have gotten out of my little rotation, but that's okay. All right, so now we'll do this line here. So I think I'm gonna start, let's see. I'll do a green one. I'm gonna turn this a little bit. Right here. And it gets kind of tricky whenever you get in here where they're all together. So I just kind of tried to make it work. Like I think I'll just skip to over here and maybe just go and do a green one because I've got red and yellow. And just kind of sneak it in there in between those guys. I don't know why I put the lid back on every time. I kind of laugh at myself. I'm like, why don't I just leave it open? But if I leave it open, then I feel like I always like get it somewhere. So I just go with it. And if you want to get really fancy, you could outline these in black or, you know, do anything to dress this up. But I think it looks really good without the outline. I think it's just fine. Let's see. Okay. All right, so there's that part. Now what I did for the happy holidays is I used all caps and I went in with a pencil first and just kind of drew in my letters. Okay, so I picked the all capital letters because I just thought that would be easy. After painting with like thousands of you over the last 10 years, it's kind of funny to see if I put like words on a painting or whatever, everybody's face is just like, oh my gosh, you want me to write? I hate my handwriting. I hate it. So that's why we're using the pencil. But there's a couple of things you could do. Like if you really didn't like it, you could get some like red or green cardstock and maybe like print out Happy Holidays and like use a glue stick and glue that on there. That might be cute. Might be something fun to do like with the kids. And the same with the inside. You know, obviously like these are kind of special, right? You might like want to send them to a grandma or, you know, whoever. But, you could do on the inside like fingerprints and have everybody sign their name or something like that, and just make it like a whole family event. I think that would be really cool. So, okay, so I've got my pencil in there. I'm happy with it. The last one I did, I had to erase, but I'm gonna just go with this. And then I've got just a black marker. This one's a little skinnier than the one before. And I'm just going over my pencil. Super light touch. Oh no. I made an extra little mark there. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna go with it. It's gonna give it character, right? I'm really cold this morning, and I feel like my hands are cold, and I'm like doing really clumsy things. Not ready for the winter. Okay, so we're just gonna go all the way to the end here. And that's it. Like, fun, something easy to do. Like, you could do this anywhere. Like, you could take them to work and do them on your lunch break and, you know, have 5 done a week or whatever. But I love the idea of the handmade Christmas cards. I just think it's so special. And like I said, you could make it like a family event and do fingerprints with acrylic paint or a stamp, or you could just have everybody in the family sign it. Okay, so there is that one. This is the other one that I did. And for this one, I'm going to use, I've got this green. I used a gold for the star, but you could use yellow, you could use anything, you know. And then I've got red and brown. But you could use black for the tree stump. You could not do one, so you could just make it your own. And then, let's see. Fold this in half here. Do this. Okay. So I just tried to pick a couple of little trees that I thought were kind of simple, just some lines. So I'm gonna find my center here, and that's where I'm gonna start that one. So all I'm doing is just lining up so that I center them. So I just made a couple of dots so I know one tree is gonna go here and one tree is gonna go here. And then if you want to put Merry Christmas at the bottom, you've got, make sure you have room for that, okay? So this one over here, I just did like little hash marks. So, like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at the top, and they're gonna be smaller at the top. And then we're just gonna make them just kind of grow as we go down. Okay, and I'm gonna go back and add a few the other direction. Back and just kind of fill in here. Make it look like a tree shape. Okay. All right, so he's just kind of a rustic tree with lines. And then I think while I've got my green out, I'm gonna go ahead and do this tree over here. So what I did, and actually I think I'm gonna make this one just a little bit longer. I think he'll look better that way. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna make just a straight line, as straight as we can do. And then I've got just little curved lines that come out. So I'm gonna start at the top. And don't go too big, because each one's gonna have to be a little larger. And I'm gonna have more lines on this one than the other one, but that's cool. Okay, one more here at the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to get out my red, and then I'm gonna do some little brown, little like the trunk here. Just a little rectangle. Okay. Now, I've got red. So this bow, you don't have to do a bow if you don't want to, if it's like intimidates you, but it's just a few shapes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so really light touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, and then you could add ornaments to that if you wanted to. I'm gonna just clean this up a little. I'm gonna make my stem just a little thicker. Okay. All right, now I did a gold star for the top, but you use whatever you have on hand. You could do a paint pen if you had that, or yellow. You could do blue. You could even do red. Okay. All right, and then I just did some ornaments on this. So just some little red dots. And you can kind of see that green through, but that's okay. So you guys can see. And then if you wanted to add ornaments on the other one, you totally could. You could do, let's see, what could we put on there? Some blue, like, you could even do just like some little hanging ornaments. I'm just doing a little line and a circle, depending on how far apart your branches are. You could also add Christmas lights now that we know how to do those. It's kind of cute. And you know, if you do multiples of these with each one, you're gonna find out what you like and what you don't like and how you want to do it, okay? All right, so the Merry Christmas at the bottom. You could do the cursive like I did. You could do the all caps like that one. I did not use pencil for my first one, but I think I will for this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the cursive. Okay. Now I did green. You could do whatever color you want. I just like this skinny green marker. And then I'm just gonna go over. Now, if there's any parts of it that you don't like, you can always erase it. Start over. Okay. Every time I do cursive, I feel like it just angles up. We could do some, let's see. Make this kind of swirl a little. Make some of these little guys swirl a little just to kind of give it a little something if you want to. Okay. And that's it, guys. That's like so it. You could Google, you know, like hand-drawn Christmas cards if you wanted some other inspiration. But I think these are really fun. So let me know what you think. If you do some, let me know. I'd love to see them. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.